best burger I've ever had.
For this adventure, I'd head to Portland, Oregon in the USA and pick up a Moto Guzzi Stelvio adventure machine for a weekend of cruising around the countryside. But I couldn't leave the city without first popping into my favourite coffee shop for a quick pick-me-up. Leaving the city and crossing the river, I was soon out of the hustle and bustle and making my way to a very special valley, about an hour outside of Portland. The Willamette Valley is famous for its award-winning vineyards and farm produce, due to its fertile soil and unique climate. Surrounded by twisty roads and endless trails, I selected sport mode and enjoyed the turns. Then into off-road mode as I hit the dirt. The trails take you deep into the forest and away from everyone. A stark difference from where I started my morning. This is why I love riding adventure motorcycles, exploring new places. Out of the forest trails, and my next stop was to Tabula, Rasa farms. I was excited to be here and learn about regenerative agriculture, aimed at restoring soil health and maintaining fertile ground for the future.
Growing healthy and delicious plants is not just about making sure NPK is in your soil. It's not just a couple of macronutrients. Also, the soil food web matters a lot, almost more than what your macronutrients are. They're like little helpers living in the soil. It's a really good sign for what's going on under the soil surface to allow places for the beneficial insects to live. If you notice too, it's not like the same thing every crop. It's not monoculture, there's diversity. So you have, aphids are delicious to a ladybug, but you have a place where the ladybugs can live. As soon as the aphids come out, the ladybugs are like, thanks for lunch, and it keeps them in check.
Because this is heartbreaking to any gardener, right? Because you can see
Heartbreaking, yes, but then you see, the roots are still in great shape, and these are clean enough too, so we'll take them to the restaurant.
Now that's a vegetable.
Yeah.
The ones in England sometimes are anemic.
So Italian variety.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yep.
Wow. It must be so exciting.
It's fantastic. It's like you come out, you see this, that this is the inspiration. You don't need like a lot of outside force to tell you what to do.
Yes.
There's your menu.
Yeah.
So pizza out will be on the menu. You are actually what you eats. So the health of the pasture, what the animals that you're eating, what they ate, becomes you. That the molecules that existed in the pasture become the animal, and then the molecules that are you come from that animal that you consume. So be mindful of what you eat, what they eat.
That's the vegetables. Now, let's go see the animals.
Animals at this farm have a good life. They roam around, eat great food, and are well cared for. Connected to the farm is the ground, where I'll be staying this evening. A modern luxury inn that's surrounded by rich pastures and rolling hills across the Willamette Valley. They also have a restaurant that offers high-quality casual cuisine, all sourced from local farms. So having toured their farm, checked in at the ground, I eagerly jumped back on the Stelvio for a short ride to sample the goods.
We went to the farm and we saw the food. Now we're going to taste it here at Humble Spirit, their restaurant. And I personally can't wait. Let's go.
For starters, I went for seasonal salad, hand-picked from their garden.
Now that was beautiful. Burger time next.
This gourmet double cheeseburger was made with grass-fed beef, grilled onions, and a yolky farm egg.
Oh wow. That's the goddamn best burger I've ever had. Messy but beautiful. So this is a very American thing, an Oreo cookie. But this one is handmade with the old recipe. Let's dunk it.
With my belly full, I headed back to the ground to recharge. There's nothing better than waking up in nature. Here in this rich farmland, I felt deeply connected to my surroundings. So after coffee, I geared up and headed for the hills. In this area there are many deer signs, and for a reason. So you must stay alert at all times, especially at dawn and dusk. With low cloud at high elevation, the roads were wet and conditions misty. Changing my riding setting to rain mode put my mind at ease, and the Stelvio did a great job of keeping me dry. Then into off-road mode as I hit the trails and crisscrossed the valley on the back roads. Finally coming out to brighter skies and a family-owned vineyard. The Durant Winery is situated in the Dundee Hills, and where farming and nurturing the land inspires their winemaking process. So I stopped by to learn all about it.
Now we're across town at Durant for some wine tasting. Let's get to it.
All of the flavor is packed into that really small amount, so there's really high sugar, and the yeast takes the sugar and converts it into CO2 and alcohol, which is how we get wine. So we want as much sugar as we can to kind of create the fermentation process. I recommend you try the grapes just so you can kind of see. They're gonna have a really high tannin structure. It's probably gonna taste very dry, like make your mouth feel like velvet.
It's like an after. The first burst was so sweet.
Yeah.
And the bitterness is only mild, but it comes after.
Yeah. So that's the tannin. It's actually a protein structure that absorbs the water in your saliva.
Right. Don't drink and ride. All right, here we go then.
You'll take a big sniff. Most of your scent palate affects your flavor palette, and so you'll kind of marry the two.
Very flammable.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it actually takes 6,500 olives to make one bottle of our olive oil. Now, they're not a very juicy fruit, whereas that grape, nice and juicy. So there is an art to it, just like there's an art to drinking the wine. You want to heat it up in your hand, kind of warm it up, give it a little spin, smell it. So you want to kind of aerate it in your mouth and kind of get the full palate coated in your mouth.
Okay.
And one of the metrics for olive oil is actually how many times it makes you cough.
Oh, really? This is me trying not to.
Learning about the wine and olive oil making process gave me a new appreciation for what goes into every bottle. Not to mention the amazing flavours. To finish off my time in the Willamette Valley, I headed back to the Twisties for a final cruise amongst the trees. Then into off-road mode to get closer to nature. My weekend getaway on the Moto Guzzi had been fantastic. The adventurous Stelvio had handled the ever-changing riding conditions with ease, allowing me to quickly escape the city and head deep into the forest trails, all while experiencing the delights of the Willamette Valley. This is a special place, and left me with a fresh perspective on what I eat and where it comes from. So remember to eat healthy so you can get out and go for a ride. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, then don't forget to like, subscribe and leave us a comment.
You'd be happy if you grew one of those in your garden.
Look at that. That's a lot of zucchini bread.
You've got a whole stack growing here. Good old manure pile.
You can't even smell it though.
No, it's so
Right
true,
there.
right? It's so true. Just enjoying the trails and the views.
Yeah, sorry about the rain.
Yeah.
It's be raining right now.
Oh, this is authentic Oregon though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last week it was like 100 degrees. So.
Yeah. Everyone always tells you that. Well, oh, you should have been here last week.
Yeah.